Hi everybody, welcome back to my garden, or in this case, greenhouse. Today we have the most exciting job to do, especially in December, and that is starting seeds. I'm not going to keep them in the greenhouse. I'm actually winter sowing, so I'm going to plant a bunch of perennials in jugs, but we have a lot of prep work before we can actually plant. So we're going to have to prep our jugs, our soil tags. We need to go through seeds to see what all we can plant. Um, yeah, I think what I would like to do is count the jugs and then choose that same number of seeds to start, and then hopefully I have enough soil to fill up those jugs. But if not, that's okay. I've been saving jugs for months now, so I have quite a bit. And last year, I'm going to be honest, I did like 50 something or 60 something jugs, and it was a lot. And in my mind, I keep telling myself, don't do that many this year. But you know how it goes. You start doing something and then you continue doing it. And then before you know it, spring hits and you're drowning and stuff. But it's okay. It gives us something to do. But it is a lovely 67 degrees in the greenhouse right now. It was over 70, but I had to turn the heater off because it was so loud. So once we get going, uh, I'll be able to turn the heater back on just so it doesn't get too cold, because I think it's like 20 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and there's like a couple snow flurries in the air, so it's pretty chilly. So I just think we should get started, and as soon as I get my stuff together, I'll explain each step of the process. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We have 18 milk jugs, or water jugs. So I need to pick 18 types of plants to grow. So if you're hearing this sound, I'm very sorry, but I think I'm going to have to leave the heater on just because the heater has been keeping the temperature in the greenhouse very consistent, which is a very new thing for me because usually it's very inconsistent. So I'm very happy with the heater that I have now, and but I'm just afraid because it's so cold outside, if I let it drop really low, it won't, like, it maybe won't get back up to what it was just because it has to fight too hard. So we might just have to deal with that sound. But what we're going to be looking for when we're starting these seeds is perennials. That's really what I'm looking for. You can do some like cool season annuals, but I would do those way, like, you know, not now, like way closer to uh, spring of next year, like late winter. So I think we have quite a bit to pick from because I have a large stash of seeds. So let me just show you what all I have. Here are my seeds that I have. These are a bunch of new seeds, but these will not be sown today. A bunch of these are like Lisianthus, which we'll be doing probably in January. And then I have a bunch of geraniums that I got from Swallowtail, which those will not be done now, but we can go over those some other time. But this is my seed box. It's a mess and it's not in order. So we just need to go through and see what we can find. But we have a bunch of like foxgloves in here, uh, like verbena, Jupiter's beard, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, let's pick 18, and then I'll just start by planting the things I really want and go from there. I mean, I have all winter to keep sowing in jugs, so I'll be able to definitely plant everything I want to, but let's just start with our favorite things right now. I'm just going to pull out all of the perennials just so we can choose the best. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of warm in the greenhouse right now. Like, I don't think I need this sweater. Alright, well, I have pulled out a bunch of stuff I would love to sow. Let's see how many we have. You'll never believe our luck. Somehow, some way, I was not counting, but I grabbed 18. So it's meant to be. We will start with my favorite flower. Actually, my favorite plant in general is a hollyhock, although I struggle very intensely here with rust, so my hollyhocks don't usually last. I'll pop pictures up so you can see. I have a traditional outhouse hollyhock, double majorette, peaches and dreams, that's beautiful, Russian yellow hollyhock, and then probably my second favorite plant, which is a foxglove. I have giant spotted, giant yellow Herold, strawberry, and snow thimble. And then another one of my favorites, columbine. I have blue star, McKana giants, Barlow mix, Rocky Mountain, and Granny's bonnets. And then I have Shades of Summer Verbascum, which is so pretty. Fama white, Scabiosa, purple topped Verbena, which is Verbena Bonariensis. Jupiter's beard, pretty Betsy. And gold dust Alyssum. Now that we have our seeds picked out, we need to prep our jugs. For that, you need a knife or scissors, something sharp that you can cut with. I like to use both, and I'll show you why, just because it's easier for me. I don't know. And then after that, we just need soil, plant tags, tape. You need tape, like duct tape, or you could use clear tape, I think. Any just strong tape. Water. I think that's it. Maybe. Probably. Possibly. That's cool. That was cold. Probably should have put my coat on. I'm going to prep my tags before my hands get too dirty. I don't know if I said this before, but you're going to want to make sure that if you use a jug that is for anything other than water, you want to rinse it out very well. But what we're going to do is start by cutting this jug and leaving just a small little spot so it's like a hinge. And we do that right by the handle. I can't find my Felco knife. It's a little disappointing. But I just make a slit with the knife and then I go around with scissors just to... I feel like it's just faster. So right there, and it hinges. Although, I should have told you, before you do that, it's easier to make holes in the bottom when it's like solid. You definitely don't want to forget putting holes on the bottom of your jug because your seeds will drown. And also, you do not need the lids. Absolutely not necessary, because that's how they'll get moisture throughout the winter. Last year was my first year doing this, and I was certain that it wouldn't work. I was like thinking like in my mind like they're gonna freeze, and they do. Like they'll be just blocks of ice. And I'm like, there's no way. There's just no way. But obviously, you know, people have success in it, so I thought I would try. And they did so well. I think I maybe had like one or two jugs that, you know, didn't come up, and I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of reasons that could have been. I mean, there's a possibility that they could have been too moist or dried out or something at a crucial time. But out of the 60, I can't remember what it was. It might have even been 70. I did so many jugs last year. Um, Only for a couple to not work is, I think, pretty good success rate. And then you think about the amount of supplies that you put into it or the cost behind it, and it's really not that much. I mean, yes, you're paying for soil and seeds, and then you do buy your jugs, right, when you know, buy your milk or water or whatever. But I mean, it's pretty cheap, and then you don't need to have a greenhouse, like, because these, it's like a mini greenhouse if you think of it that way. So if you don't have a greenhouse like I have, do it this way, and you'll be so shocked what you get out of it. And you can plant a lot in each one, although I'll explain later why that sometimes is quite a headache. You also don't have to use milk jugs or water jugs. You can use uh, totes, plastic totes. I've seen people do that. Um, any kind of clear container that lets light in through the top, you're pretty good. I keep seeing this plant, this arborvitae, thuya, to my left in a pot, and I keep thinking that it's someone like coming into my greenhouse. Paranoid much? We're on the final one. It wouldn't be such a large undertaking if you were just like a normal person and just, you know, did one or two, but I don't know why I always have to do so many. But just think how easy it would be if you just did like once a week, because you know you have all, they don't have to be done now. You can probably do this like way into winter. Here on out is where it gets messy. I'm going to use my tidy tray. This thing is fantastic. I'll try to find a link for this so you guys can get one of these, because you can just do all your potting up in here and you don't make a mess. It's so convenient. And it's great because you can um, moisten your soil and mix it up. What I'm doing is I actually have a mixture of like traditional organic potting like mix, and then I also am mixing in some seed starting mix just because I kind of want it to be a tiny bit lighter, loftier. I'm going to wet it down a little bit. I'm not like thoroughly soaking the soil, but I just want it to have some moisture to it, because if you've ever planted something with dry soil before, you would know that the minute you like go to water the top of it, it kind of like floods and like makes channels on the top, and it'll completely move your seeds around. Now that that's done, I'm going to take one of my containers, and I like to use a scoop. And I just lightly pack it down. Then we're going to take our seeds, and you can put as many or as few seeds in your container as you want. I like to just do a few because I hate separating a bunch of plants out of this in the spring. So, and then I'm just going to follow the seed packet for planting depth. After I've planted them, I'm going to put a layer of vermiculite over the top and then close it up with tape. So we have a lot to do. I'm going to quit talking and do it. Don't forget your plant tag. I like to put a plant tag on the inside, and then when I close it up, I like to write it on the outside as well. That's our first one done. Now we just have a bajillion more. we have arrived to the final one. And I don't feel like it's been too bad. I mean, I think maybe it's taken me a total of, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, like from the time I walked out the door to now. And we did 18 different types of perennial plants that won't need any maintenance from us this winter. The only time that I really start thinking about them is when it starts warming up in the spring. So, like, if the days get like 50 or so and it's really sunny, then I will periodically check on the containers to make sure that they are staying wet, because that's like the most important thing. The fluctuation of temperature in the winter and spring is is not a big deal with these. Um, so they're pretty bulletproof. I would just do your research just to make sure what types of plants you can and cannot do. Whatever is, perennial in your area. Now, a lot of these I did start last year as well. Um, so I do have some experience winter sowing them, but some of them are new for me, so they might not work. But I like to try things. So, it just depends on how much of a garden gambler you are. But we just need to finish this one up real quick and go and set them out. And then we will be finished for the day. And I have just been really impressed with the heater in this greenhouse. I can't tell you how much I struggled prior years keeping it warm in here, because I would have to run like two 1500-watt heaters, and I'd have to be careful, if I ran any lights or anything on top of that, because I would pop the breaker. So this one is on its own line, and it's a higher powered heater, and it does such a great job. It's making me so happy. So I would recommend that. And then also this Mesto sprayer is the most amazing thing. It has such a great flow to it, and I'm very glad I purchased it from Garden Answer, along with plenty of other things that I've purchased from them. And so far, I've liked everything. All of my Felco products I bought from them. Kneeling pad, auger, because I kind of feel like she's a gardener, so she knows what she's doing. But let's just tape this one up real quick and go out in the freezing cold. are just gonna stack them here in my raised bed because there's a lip around the edge and I feel like it kind of keeps them all contained. I do like to put some rocks over on this side of them so that they stay in place and there's no funny business. And just like that, we have a head start on our seeds for next year. So that feels great to have that done. It has been really pleasant being in the greenhouse today. I really enjoyed it. And I stayed warm. Just that small time I spent outside putting those jugs in the raised beds, my fingers were like frozen. So I feel so bad for Cole, but I guess cats are equipped to live outside. But I wish she would come in, but she won't. So I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you learned how to start seeds in jugs. It's very easy, very few supplies, and you guys can do it. I know you can. So I'll see you guys very soon. Keep learning and keep growing.